This video is going to be my strategy for dealing with the Wandering Wight. Pretty tough, but very worth dealing with, as he's going to give us a spirit that allows us to increase our defense. It's worth noting that you'll need to progress a little bit to unlock the slot where we're actually able to equip the spirits before you can fully use the guy. But if you do defeat him early, we don't lose out on this, and we are able to recover the spirit. But if you are struggling with it because you haven't defeated the second boss yet, then you may want to do that first. Before we start, I have some decent armor on here. I'm going to show you guys how to get that. Now, I do believe it's a good idea to have defeated the boss or the mini boss just before this guy, as that is going to give us an ability. We're actually going to use that to our advantage. But first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run past this big guy here to the next shrine. The next shrine is going to unlock the ability to craft armor, and basically sets us about a small amount of grinding so that we can get that armor crafted. We just follow the path straight forward. You'll have to defeat a few enemies along the way. These shouldn't cause you too much of an issue though. And then activating this shrine after some disposition will now allow you to craft some armor. Obviously, I already have this crafted, so you can't see the total amounts that you'll need, but you'll simply need yarn and will. There is a small chest in this back corner here that has a little bit of yarn in it, and I will assume that if you've defeated a few enemies at the very least, you should have some of the gold pieces that you can sell in the store. A quick chat on basic strategy and where my points are then. I have 1 point in this stamina reduction for sprinting, just because that's going to be a part of the strategy. You guys will see as we go forward. We are I at the very least am targeting the charged smash attack because it's very, very good. Obviously I need to reduce the stamina on that as I go forward. And we've gotten 2 points into the additional damage when an enemy is slowed. This is going to allow us to deal significant amounts of burst damage to the Wandering Wight once we start the fight. The reason all of this is going to synergize is because, in case you didn't notice when you were looking at the armor, our armor set here is going to allow us to sprint fast, and we are going to get more damage while sprinting. In addition, we can also use gourds while sprinting as well. So overall, this armor set is rather nice, and you guys are going to see during the strategy why all of this is important. All right then, so the plan is going to be to wait until the boy has just turned around. That's going to allow us to run up and sneak up on him to get things done rather quickly. We're going to start by charging up our heavy attack so that we can be at full power by the time that we reach him. This should mean that once we release this upon his back, we will get a few free hits in before he recovers, at which point we're going to want to freeze him so that we can then transform directly into our fire mode and start wailing on him as much as possible. We are aiming to build up the meter that we can see in the bottom right hand corner, and then if you do a dodge followed by a heavy attack, you'll get one of the spins off, or you do one of the overhead slams, which will do some good damage for us. It's also worth noting this has its own health bar, so all of the damage we take during this mode is not really going to matter too much for us, and means that when we change back to monkey mode, we'll still be on full health. Doing all of this should net you a good amount of damage, and if we run back to where we came from, you should find that there's a tree that we can hide behind, which would actually block most of his attacks. We can use this to basically force it to kind of patrol around against us. There's only one move it can do that penetrates this, which is its air palm move. But outside of this, we should effectively be able to kite it around fairly safely, which gives you enough breathing room if you need to heal, if you want to continue fighting it, or if you want to wait for your cooldowns to finish so that you can do the same combo all over again. What I like to do is find a good opportunity to recharge the heavy attack though, run on back in to knock it over, get a few free hits, and with the immobilize spell reset, I like to put that back on it so that we can get additional damage as our second phase of attack to continue lowering its health. At this point then, you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to try fighting it head on. Should be significantly injured at this point, or if you want to wait for another instance of the immobilized to be cooled down. By the time you've got this third one done, your transformation should also be close to being cooled down, which means you'll be able to get a second instance of transformation on it if you wish to, and this should help to simplify the fight and have you victorious in no time. Worth noting, this method has worked on quite a few bosses for me. I'm a good chunk of the way through the second chapter, and so far using this kind of method where we're just kind of alternating between immobilize and transformation mode has worked pretty well against a lot of the bosses, so hopefully this is something you can carry forward and will help you to enjoy the rest of Black Myth Wukong.